Hello, this is Wolfram again. Now I will commentate this interesting match. I hope it will be very interesting. I lost a match today, but I planned to commentate this match anyway, so I don't see any reason why I should cancel that. Okay, let's see what happened.
Kaboom! Check.
So bishop g4. This line. Remember that black needs to know some
Check.
precise theory to defend this line. But I don't remember precise theory, so I usually just capture like that.
Check.
I should really learn it, but white usually plays knight g5.
Check.
Yes, this all looks similar to what black actually should do. Hopefully I won't be banned for this link. Chess is absolutely mad with respect to links lately, to be honest. Okay, what's the position? So looks like black defended pretty decently. Doesn't seem any like white had any really good ways to attack. So Vlad probably prepared this. And now he has a pawn up, but his white probably returns this pawn somehow. Oh, but this looks like, if black takes, this looks like a lost pawn endgame, because white probably blocks on one of these two squares. And here, when white creates a passed pawn, most likely they will be able to block the more favorable square. So all...
Kaboom!
But wait, but it is not easy for white to force this capture, right? Yes, they need to do something like that to force this capture. So will black have something? This move is not a thing, so I guess black is forced to capture here.
Check.
Then this will be an... Ah, okay,
Check.
there is just perpetual. I missed it.
Check.
Just
Check.
like I missed very simple things in my match. But well, it really looked not nice for black after this capture. So perpetual was forced, I guess. Despite black having extra knight. So good start for Vlad. Even though it's a draw, it is very hard to play chrisrapid in knight f3, e3, so I think draw is a good result to start. Now he plays Russian attack like he likes. Since it is very expected opening from Vlad, I suppose that chrisrapid prepared something. Looks like completely normal position for black. So yes, black has some, white has some material advantage. But let's say like black has more pawns on 5th rank and white has only these 4 pawns. So in perspective, black has a bit more space, yes, and also can play like that. Black pawns are in average more advanced than white's. So in general, I don't feel like this piece means very much in this position, but it is also true that these positions are quite complicated to play. So since Vlad has probably much more experience in them than chrisrapid, he should be the favorite in such kind of positions. And it doesn't look like white did something very wrong yet. On the other hand, how to develop this knight? Even if you push here, hoping that black takes, right? But black simply doesn't take this knight. And then it just goes nowhere. Maybe you need to develop it like that. This knight might be a huge issue for white actually. Also you want to play this, but currently you can't. Maybe you can play something in the center so that you can actually play knight c3 and maybe
Kaboom.
knight d5. It is not clear. Oh, and also it was black to move. G takes f4. I'm not sure why black did this move. So
Kaboom.
you lose a tempo for exchange for no clear continuation. I don't think this is correct move, considering that you need to develop this knight somehow too. Because yes, you want to play bishop h6, but well, you still doesn't castle, right? Castling looks a bit dangerous. Maybe not. Maybe there is some sense in it actually. If castles, then queen takes h5 might be an issue, but it's just one possible way. Even if it doesn't work, then maybe there are some attacks along the g file. So castling looks really icky. Maybe king f8 is even better. But on the other hand, this rook. Okay, but bishop c4. King f8 is probably the only option left.
Check.
But I cannot say that king is very bad here. Probably it's okay. The only thing is, yes, but white may create some threats with the bishop and in such a way that they manage to attack along the g file, but it is yet to be seen how they will do that. In the meantime, black can use this pawn is pinned, so maybe they can invade the knight somehow. If the knight goes here, you also can't take here, because not only you lose this bishop, but also you get such check and queen f6. So knight e5 is probably a big threat by black right now. Not such big, because the knight doesn't really have good square. Oh, but now it has good squares. I don't understand. Why play g3? Probably preventing some other threats too. Now knight has this really good square on f3, so g3 is questionable maybe. Okay, so white just goes king h1.
Check.
Probably, and pretend that this knight is not dangerous at all. What if... Okay, I want to invade something like that, but there is a bishop. I like this position for black actually. This knight is not going anywhere. It can be captured. But on the other hand, it is not clear how black can attack. Hola. AGH. I only now looked at YouTube chat. Probably I should look at it more since I am not playing myself. Okay, queen d6 is weird. So you want it is preventing d6, but d6 was not seemingly such a big threat. What is queen c1? Oh, like that. This knight again is not going anywhere, right? Maybe knight has such
Kaboom!
weird path. So white looks in trouble. But does black has enough resources to actually attack here? Oh, that's nice. So on any bishop closure you can take this bishop. The queen is almost unstoppable, maybe not almost. Because queen f1 is impossible because of this knight. Looks way in for black. How white can defend this? They can just allow... No, it's
Check.
just rook's check.
Check.
This is just completely dead position.
Check.
Nice game, chrisrapid. Very, very nice. Outplaying Vlad in his own opening. Okay, now immediate move. I think this is worse generally for white than if this. You can just take the knight. Why playing
Kaboom!
this line I don't
Kaboom!
understand. e6. Or maybe just check castles. Maybe black has some wishes. I don't remember. Maybe knight f6 was more correct. It's queen f3. I don't feel like it is a very dangerous move. Why not play bishop b5 and castles in this position? Oh, but because there are possible threats like that, but how exactly? So he will need to play knight here, maybe queen. Yes, and then queen g4. So what is in this position? Knight b5, c6, castles, knight f6, queen g4. And how to stop this queen? And you can take it because the rook just ends the game. This was very prospective for white in my view. But they played queen f3. I
Check.
don't really think that this is a good position for white. Maybe, well, there is something nice for white. Why not? Allowing now black can castles. Now black should win. No, I think this move must have been played. But on the other hand, yeah, maybe. No, I'm not sure why bishop d7 wasn't played. Now black just has extra pawn. What is the compensation? Bishop f5, h6. This is the compensation. Takes. Even exchanging all the stuff first, then takes. White seems completely losing. I don't understand this. Okay, so complicating stuff a bit. Maybe knight goes to c8 to prevent this rook from going in. Knight c8 seems a good move. Maybe actually bishop c8 was even more nasty.
Kaboom! Kaboom!
But okay. Yeah, this looks completely win for black. Probably knight should go, or maybe not. Knight d6, right? Knight d6, knight f7. There are some tricks yet. So knight d6, but black responds. Probably a rook f7, f8, knight f7, king here. Knight just sits here, not going anywhere. White plays c3. trying to capture this bishop and trying to maybe develop this bishop somehow. Black has knight moves, of course, but I don't think that this knight can do much alone. And if... Okay, another option for black is to take this knight this way or this way, but this looks just like just a draw, because takes, for example, c3 to prevent winning this material.
Kaboom!
Or maybe not a draw, because this bishop can try to participate in checkmating the king. But c3 must be played otherwise. Otherwise you just get a pawn endgame, a pawn down. So c3 must be played. Absolutely must be played. Okay, or d3. But this looks like a bit simplifying.
Check.
Maybe this is a better way actually.
Check.
Now it is not clear how black escapes exchanging this bishop. For example, here, 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 white just chases this bishop somehow. It cannot escape, it will be exchanged. Yes, but here is counterplay. Okay, yes, black can try to exchange this and checkmate. I guess this should be still win, because it is very hard to develop this rook. So it is not important whether
Kaboom!
this pawns are exchanged. This pawn is just pushing through. And when this pawn reaches h6 square, this king is absolutely dead. You can do this move. So he wants to take this with the bishop. But I'm pretty sure even if play h4, bishop takes,
Check.
then you can still checkmate this king using bishop and rook,
Check.
because king was cut along first rank.
Check.
So you could actually use the bishop to push it for in this direction.
Check.
And then you can just capture something
Check.
around.
Check.
Yes, but this way probably works too. Okay. So yeah, I think white have done a couple of mistakes in previous game. White hasn't won yet. Yes, this is how Atomic is played in 2021. White just
Check.
cannot win, because everyone interbaits as black with neural networks. Nobody has time to actually learn some decent theory to play as white. So everyone just wins as black.
Kaboom!
There are of course some spammers who can only play good with white, but these two players are able to play many good openings well. I think chrisrapid was a spammer till recently, playing almost exclusively knight f3, e3. He also played now, but he played many other openings. Actually, this idea is
Kaboom!
quite strong.
Check.
So what happened? So knight f6 is a possible move. It's very sharp and
Check. Check. Check.
this rook is not playing really. On the other hand, how white defends from this? Rook f1.
Check.
I'm absolutely not sure how
Check.
to evaluate this position. maybe there is some simple way to win for white, but if there is not, then it is very doubtful opening by black. That just takes. Okay, then white can castle and play basically a rook up, because this rook is not playing and this rook will be playing. And this rook also will be playing soon. So takes probably not a particularly good move. What if takes like that? Then knight cannot invade on any of these two squares yet. But if this bishop retreats, this
Kaboom.
will be a threat. Black can just play g6. Just g6, okay. What white does next? Not clear at all. Black is up material. We may see another black win right now.
Kaboom.
Oh, just take the knight. I'm absolutely blind today. Suggesting g6 when you can take the knight. I'm not sure it is a better move really, because a bit opened up the position, but I cannot immediately say this is a worse move. Actually, it looks like black just wins even more material for very unclear compensation for white. White surely misplayed this, but not sure where. I think okay, e3 was certainly correct. Wait, actually f4 in such positions is
Check.
often the move, but yes, I'm not sure where. Typical spam.
Check. Check.
Where white misplayed this. He should play knight c3 just to prevent this move. Then if black cannot exchange queens, then this threat is really strong. So I think knight c3 was the correct move. Just to prevent exchanging queens. Then black cannot take this pawn because this queen attacking this. c3 was probably a mistake by black. Okay, but now, well, even if white takes this, okay, exchanging these two rooks, and there is possible checkmates with two bishops in here. There are such ideas, yes, but to play this just to ask this bishop one inconvenient question and maybe take the knight also. Because now it looks completely winning for black. Because one of these two pieces gets exchanged in one.
Kaboom.
Yes. The only issue for black is time. Okay, this might be an issue too. Yes, just b6 even if it takes. Very hard to invade.
Kaboom.
Probably need to capture this pawn with the knight. b6. Yes, and white, if b files open, then at worst case for black this rook get exchanged. At best case you just checkmate white.
Kaboom.
Yeah. So rook d3 probably is the only move.
Kaboom.
Not even playing rook d3. Okay.
Kaboom.
Actually, I think that rook b8 was a good idea for black, but this should be technically won anyway. Oh, I don't like this move at all. What if black took?
Check.
Should really keep
Check.
pawns on other color square.
Check.
Just rook takes
Kaboom.
bishop and win. Yes, this is completely winning. There are just absolutely zero ideas in this position for white. Yes, and black wins again. So black draw, black win, black win, black win. Very nice AWC matches. Very, very nice. Knight g5 now. So will Vlad play bishop g4?
Kaboom.
No.
Check.
This would be very scammy.
Kaboom.
Or Apabine spam. Yes. I play this and this. If you play a6 immediately, there are some, I don't remember exactly the sequence, I think something like that. Some very scammy queen, yes. I think this works. So if bc. Does this work now? It doesn't work because knight defending the square, so maybe this is also a thing, but I don't remember the theory. Can he really play knight a6? I really don't understand why when chrisrapid played this move immediately. Maybe he knows the theory, but it felt like white had something better. This move just doesn't feels right. On the other hand, Vlad plays tons of games versus Pabine, so maybe it's not bad. I need to look at this line. Let's know how to defend this line. So if knight goes somewhere, then just queen checkmate. Now the knight can really go somewhere because at best there is a repetition here. I think Vlad is completely fine with draw as black. And chrisrapid will not probably be fine with draw by such repetition. So the knight is basically free. Maybe white should really castle just to prevent any knight scams, after which the king will be really hard to deal with. Or maybe takes. Takes and threatens this, so if takes, maybe black should take. Oh, but there is no such threat because knight defends the square, right? So black can even not rush with taking, may play with the knight. How to save this queen properly then? Maybe you can, no, you can't take this because this is handy. If b3 in this position, somewhat very weird move. Just to prevent
Kaboom.
this capture and maybe activate this bishop at some point. There were also knight takes a7 ideas. But this looks like a bad position for white. I would not like to play this as white. Probably should make a draw. And here, is this a draw? Can black play for a win after this? I'm not even sure that, that this is a draw. Maybe really black just long castles and white have real issues with this queen.
Kaboom.
Not just taking. Keep it, white is up material still. This knight is very unpleasant, of course, but it's still not decided. Any side can win. This may be a draw. So very undecided game yet, but I would say that white misplayed this opening, as always. So what? I want to block like that. Okay. What if it takes? I don't like this. So how about rook c8 and taking this pawn with a knight?
Kaboom!
Maybe even immediate, but no, but you cannot defend from this. Rook c. Yeah, white only scored half a point yet. Everyone else is just won by black. So chrisrapid is now black. He has advantage in match, obviously, because he is black right now, so he probably wins this game. But Vlad may defend this position, and white and make a draw yet. There are chances. Well, this is main theoretical move. There is also another move, but it is only became popular quite recently, and probably it was very popular sometimes back in the past, but most of the time that I was on the chess, this move was absolutely main line, and then this is main line. And queen h4 is a mistake by black usually, so because he allow this really unpleasant knight invasion. This queen is hanging. You often win some material here, but in the end you have issues with. So the knight stands here,
Kaboom!
prevents you from castling, and white just tries to put as many pieces as possible to destroy c pawn
Kaboom!
and just invade with two rooks. And you have only one rook to exchange. So okay, this looks like theoretical line also. But this is already such theory where black is not doing quite well. Yes, I think he just do rook c1 now.
Kaboom!
I'm not sure about immediate capture. Probably fine too. I think rook c1 usually played first. b5. Yes, this is already not clear how to save. Yes, maybe like that. Very awkward to put pieces like that. And just, I don't know, take here.
Kaboom!
I think this capture should be first. Maybe it doesn't matter really. Knight g4 takes. Black also have issues that this rook is coming in.
Kaboom!
White will be up material. So knight for two pawns. Probably not completely dead, because there are rooks yet. But yeah, looks very bad. Probably just not clear how to create any threats with this knight. Maybe should push this pawn somehow. Just if you push f6 for example, then already you get e5. The knight is dying. Another idea here is maybe put the rook somewhere, I don't know where, in such a way that it cannot be exchanged and white only has a perpetual. This is a drawish idea in such positions, but here it is not really clear where is the space for the rook. Maybe you really, yeah, yes, maybe something like that work. So you basically play f5, I guess. f5. I would play f5
Kaboom!
to create this safe square for the king. Now Yes, this was really bad. So after, or maybe, wait. Yes, it is 4 black queens in the draw, and this looks like a second draw. This was a scam. Oh. Yeah, this is a draw. So rook found a place where it cannot be exchanged because this is just replied by check. Black gives a perpetual. Too late to think. He needed to think before taking this knight.
Check.
Still felt that white had a win. Just taking the knight was probably a blunder. Well, white cannot lose here, right?
Check.
Because there is this safe square anyway. There is a safe square, so it is a draw.
Check.
Now black plays for a win.
Check. Check.
I'm not sure how exactly. All these pawns seem
Check.
to be this.
Check.
All this capture
Check.
can be conscious.
Check.
So there's just a
Check.
chrisrapid didn't manage to convert his advantage as black. The game only ended as a draw. So the match is even. D6. I was scammed by Astapakrizis. D6 line.
Kaboom.
Bishop takes f6. What is this? I guess wanted to play queen f3. What is this? Ah, wait. F takes g5. Yes. I didn't realize that it was black who takes. Was played too fast. Yeah, this makes more sense, but I would certainly prefer to take with h pawn. This is why I'm so confused. You open this rook and you don't allow any such threats. So why take with f pawn? I don't understand. So white has just much better position. Oh wait, is this? King returns. Here white can make a draw. We know that white has disadvantage from opening, so maybe white should be fine with the draw. No. chrisrapid doesn't think so. Okay, this move.
Kaboom. Kaboom.
Yes, I don't understand what happened. This was too greedy, probably. No. But on the other hand, this must have been played maybe after. Something like that. So maybe black is not as dead as I thought. But no, this position is super bad for black. You are a piece down. Yes, you have 2 bishops.
Kaboom.
No, you don't have 2 bishops. Yes, this is not playable. So Vlad is losing too. Pretty bad. At least black didn't win this one. True. Now chrisrapid is black. So this is clearly an advantage. And already scammed out of theory, obviously.
Kaboom.
This is not a good theory for white. Completely not good position for white. If you need to play bishop takes h6. This is already messed up. With knight h3 d5. And why Vlad plays d4? I don't understand. You need to punish for that. Just you can play, for example, knight c3 instead, just to hook this square so that queen can't go to d6 without capture. Then this knight just captures the queen somehow. Instead playing d4, and this is completely fine position for black. So can black play e5? I think black have every right to play e5 because they have two bishops. Maybe even not a tempo down because g6 is played. So okay, takes. Takes where to put the bishops. e4 just play. Yes, but it's not clear how to respond to this. I still feel like e5 was correct.
Kaboom.
It just feels positionally correct to play e5 when you have two bishops. An exchanging bishop for knight doesn't feel very good. Especially this bishop. Okay, you can play e6. You can really play e6. Try to put all pawns on light squares and maybe bishop is going to h4. Again, this should be completely fine position for black. Just f5 is an idea. Bishop e7, castling. I guess this is a draw. So what white should do? What white wants to do? Just take and d5, right? I don't really. Wants to castle long, I guess. What is this move? No, I don't like this move. He wants to play queen a6, but this feels so slow. Maybe not. So how do white defense from this? If c4, you can still play this and take maybe.
Kaboom.
Okay, so white they took here so that they can close with queen d3, I suppose. But then castling and this threat. So you need to play d5 after that. And maybe black just have this check because you can't take, because takes and not sure by the way, because then rook e2 and yes, Chris played knight h3 d5. This is a modern atomic theory, obviously. Okay.
Check.
Check takes.
Kaboom.
Castling. If here just takes with it. Well, but this endgame might be scammable for white. d6, I guess black is forced to take because you don't want to have such a block rook. Okay, king b8. King b8 is the only move. I believe
Check.
Oh, this move. Nice. Using the fact that white misplaced
Kaboom.
their rooks. But this, no.
Check.
This really isn't really good for black. Probably it's should be a draw. because this is really unpleasant for black, but on the other hand, they have extra pawn. These two
Check.
things might somehow compensate each other. Maybe not. Black should really hurry with pushing this password, because if they not hurry, white can try to just exchange both rooks here. Or maybe they can just stand and the rooks cannot invade. Wait, this position already looks good for black in my view. No, oh no, maybe not. Very hard to calculate. Probably black should place the king here so that this pawn cannot promote with check with either as queen. No, king should stay. Okay, push this pawn, push this pawn.
Kaboom.
Wow,
Check.
black
Kaboom.
lost.
Check. Kaboom.
It actually looked like black. I'm not sure. The king should be placed on a7 for sure in that game. The only question is whether black still had enough tempo there. Because I think black also wasted one more tempo by not playing rook d8 in that game. Okay, what is this? So, not impressed by this opening. Will be win for black. Let's see. So usually c3 just to prevent some scams. Bishop d3. I thought chrisrapid could have just pushed the pawns in front of his king a few moves earlier. Yes, probably. But it was a bit dangerous to push those pawns, because if the queen side gets opened, then white had two rooks who could just checkmate this king. So it was probably not that straightforward to push them. And white probably had some ideas how to exchange those pawns if they start getting pushed. So what if bishop g5 in this position? Takes. Oh, this move is nice too. Actually, this looks like GG. Okay, at the very least, white should win like piece and maybe a
Kaboom.
pawn. Takes. You need to take this, right? Oh, but on the other hand, there is scams. Because second knight goes to this square, right? And then this second knight will threaten to move this. But maybe, what if play bishop g5? Castles. And knight still can't move. Or maybe queen d3. Oh, then knight can move. If takes, then knight goes here. But does black has enough material, to be honest? Even after that. What alternative does white has here? So take here or take here, right? This looks like just a draw. Stakes, equal material. Maybe not a draw, by the way, because it looks like white can invade very, very fast. Let's calculate. Takes,
Kaboom.
rook here, takes, castling, bishop, here, castles, rook here, rook g8. No, that
Kaboom.
was a draw. But is this even good for white? This end game looks very drawish, but no, not anymore. Burns, this looks winning for black. But white has contra idea to push this pawn. Yes, just push this pawn, maybe block this rook, then probably a draw. Maybe. Oh wait.
Kaboom.
Take, right? So pawn here. Oh, then knight just blocks the rook. Okay, so preventing the knight to jump. White just completely misses this idea. Yeah, this looks winning for black. So both rook will be attacking somehow right now. Needs to save this knight, really needs to save this knight. You cannot allow to take this knight in such position.
Kaboom.
Oh. Yeah, this is really bad.
Kaboom.
Nice scam, but it doesn't work.
Kaboom.
This move.
Check.
This move was nice actually. Wait. So if play this, if takes, this should be perpetual. And if this rook tries to do something,
Check.
then give this check. So is this a draw? Yes, engine says this is a draw. A very simple draw. But chrisrapid missed, unfortunately. Probably a few moves ago it wasn't a draw really. And this was a checkmate, for example. So this move was a blunder, this move was a blunder. Very tricky end game. What was the white win of chrisrapid, by the way? This was a white win, so he continues playing this opening. No, wait. This is Vlad playing white, right? Vlad playing white. chrisrapid playing bad opening. chrisrapid playing really bad opening. Looks like GG. I don't think this position is safe, to be honest. Maybe.
Kaboom. Kaboom.
But this idea is absolutely disgusting. So if you take, you just get this move. That is GG. And if you spend move,
Kaboom.
no, it's just GG.
Kaboom.
So d5, bishop here, king f7, castles.
Check. Check. Check.
Xeran's grand weapon. Interesting. How can I overturn this position? Bishop h3 in bullet. Queen h5 was the best move. This is actually interesting.
Check.
Vlad played this. Fine.
Check.
Takes. Queen. So
Check.
this is just GG. So that's why King d8 was played.
Check.
And if takes, then what? Bishop h3, f5 takes. Maybe this position is really bad for black. Yes, it's really bad for black. But you need to know this exact move. This is not obvious at all. You just need to give up the queen like that. And that after this capture, bishop h3.
Check.
Vlad seemed to know that. So yeah, here I think basically bishop b4 is the only viable move. Engine recommends some nonsense like taking this, but this is completely playable for black. And so usually a human move is bishop e2 or bishop check, not check, g3, yes, and just some position. Black will put the pawns like that, white will put the pawns like that, castles, king h1. Black will try to develop this knight, etc. But this is just losing, as far as I remember. Okay, Vlad looks like he's tilted. He still managed to win the match. Not pleased with this. We see other games. Looks very good position for black. Based on this. chrisrapid, Steven, hello, Xerance has lost. On the other hand, this game was... Is this really good for black? Wow. So queen e2. Try to make such a move. And why exactly this position is good for white? Because they have extra material, I guess. But this is very unclear. Oh. So just to... No, and what if I just invade? And have this
Check.
position. So probably this position is really better for white. Maybe you really can just take this knight and this queen looks pretty miserable. So maybe soon it will need to take this knight. Also you may not take this knight, it probably doesn't really threaten much.
check,
So
check,
to give some checks, you put the king here. And try to do something with this queen. When I check and take the queen at some point. This still feels like black can do something, but obviously black is down material, so should have been good. But this move was very hard to find. Okay, but bishop g5 was also good, right? And here again, allowing knight in. There is this weird idea that you can just allow knight in and it's fine for you. Okay, and probably white should really play this. Because if you don't allow knight in, it is not really clear how to proceed. If it takes, for example, then I suppose there is this move and there is this threat, so rook must defend. You take the queen. Still not clear. Why not this? No, because queen evades. So this queen is too strong. Just this. So you cannot take this. Could probably play like that to capture the queen. But if just queen exchange, then white should be better in this position. Extra knight and pawn. Nice. Yes. The opening is very weird.
check,
I think
check,
this whole idea
check.
is queen exchange. No, I didn't like this move actually. Black wanted to play for a win, but having a pawn on d6 is quite dangerous. Just feel like this position was a draw. It's usually very hard to really exchange knight. So you need to exchange knight for one of these pawns in such a way that you have a winning endgame. Usually it is very hard to do properly. But okay, I guess what black made sense, playing for a win. And then
check.
So could black make more space for the king, for example? Like that. Then just white takes and the king is opened. Black has two rooks to checkmate. So black couldn't really make any space for the king.
Check.
I really feel like maybe black should play something like that to push this to push pawns on the queen side as far as possible, because there are 4 pawns against 2, and it is very critical that these pawns will be as close to promotion as possible. The king cannot be bothered so easily, and it is not also very easy to exchange rooks here, so it is very tempy game. Not sure why engine thinks this draw. Probably you can open up stuff. Oh, because white just have such a nasty perpetual. This is very hard to find. If takes and black wins. If this rook, for example, goes like that. Well, oh, this is much easier to find. Black
Check.
just gives the perpetual, yeah. So white's idea was basically to actually blow up the king side while black is trying to blow
Check.
the queen side. This position. Okay, engine just shows who is the first. If it's almost at the same time, then it's choice. If black makes some slow move, then sometimes white can just open up this position too quickly for black to handle. I actually thought that promoting the pawns might be a nice idea. Very weird. So you cannot take really, right? Can you play this? You cannot play this too. Actually, I need to exchange this rook. How to draw this as black? Or like that. And black has the safe square here. King just runs to this safe square. Really complicated position. I'm not sure what black did wrong, because this position feels quite
Check.
hard to play as black. It's really very easy to lose to these two rooks in human play. On the other hand, playing with 7 pawns against 6 pawns and knight is also not fun. So probably black made a mistake somewhere earlier. All this stuff, just too many tempos for some very weird queen moves. With castling here, for example, castling is developing move, right?
Check.
This looks something that black should probably play. Waited. Black went wrong. Knight c3. F takes g5. Looks nice. So why not knight f6 here? e5. Oh yeah. So queen f6. Queen f5. Takes. Why is this position okay for black? Actually looks pretty dangerous. Maybe you should not really take the queen. But what else? Play g6, say. Maybe just going forward with a knight.
Check.
No, you can't play this move. Maybe you can take this pawn, but then... Yes, maybe this is fine position for black. Engine thinks this is fine. This is quite a weak engine anyway, but at least it doesn't see something immediately bad. So then the question is this opening such good for white? Queen h5. It's really weird stuff. Oh, g4. Yes, in this position. But queen h5, what is queen h5? Why not take? Oh, because, yes, I realized. So, way too complicated. It's a practical opening, so you need to know theory really well to play this. Moves like queen h5. If there is something more natural in this position, never gonna berserk plate as a move.
Check. Check.
So, okay, but engine suggested this was a better move. And then we have this tipo game.
Check.
Well, just resign, so you cannot really take. Because just, or you can. King f7. This is so bad. You have just this move. Oh, yes. So this is really bad. So you cannot really take. What can you do? Give a wait, black is to move. Yeah, this looks pretty. This looks pretty bad position for black. What if queen h5? f3? Or queen takes? If queen takes, maybe knight can take here. Maybe knight can take there immediately. There are some scams.
Check.
What is the engine move? Queen h5 action. Yes, queen h5 is good move. So, do you want to say that white has nothing?
Check. Check.
Really, I should analyze this with stronger engine, probably. But in general, After white played knight f4, I don't like this position for black because it's very hard to develop this side without losing pieces. And here, if black even takes this, white takes the same amount of material. So this feels like a very good position for white. Maybe not very good, maybe black has some weird defenses, but yes, so knight c3. I played before in my game versus Astavakra. And before was a mistake. After knight c3, this is a very nice threat. And if black plays this, yeah, this queen just is lost together with this bishop. This is way too much material to lose. So probably there is no really good move. This was a draw. This queen takes g5. It's usually rook c1 is played, as you can see in the database. Vlad took immediately. It still felt like it should be losing. So this capture was a blunder, just as I said. But how to win this position, for example? Because even if you push those pawns, oh right, so black cannot really do that. Because then this pawn is pushed forward and this file is not open. So black really wants this file to open. So probably white has rights to push this all the way to a6. If they start to push second pawn, for example,
check,
then there is this scam. Still looks drawish. So can white, for example, win this position somehow? I guess, okay. No, I don't like this move. Let's play this so there are no checks. Oh, yes. So no, let's play rook b8 then. And so yeah, now rook cannot go between two squares, it seems. So white just needs to push this stuff. Give a check. Probably if you just play out this, then it would feel that black has nothing to do. Just looking at this position, very hard to say whether it is savable. But no, this is already bad. But if black, instead of just moving rook back and forth, if black, instead of moving rook back and forth, played some pawn moves, actually maybe there was something better. So I don't know, you need to, when you open this file, probably, well, yeah,
check,
there is this check then. So it is not even clear how to do that. Again, engine suggests to push this pawn, but I don't see what black does. Next. Takes.
check,
So you want to say this is not a draw? Oh, yes, because king is under check. I didn't want to put the king. Well, the king doesn't have a good square because here it is under queen check. Here it is under this pawn check. So it is basically in Zugzwang on this square. Rook is bound to this square. If it goes anywhere, then it wastes a tempo for this check. And these pawns only have a finite number of tempi. This knight cannot move, because otherwise the rook is exchanged. So it really looks like a Zugzwang idea. But it is a very complicated idea to find in a blitz game. Maybe there is some easier way to win. It turns out this position was quite playable actually. With draws comes. Nice.
check,
So, Opabinia, Vlad 0, Vlad 0. What is going on?
check,
F6.
check,
Okay, Opabinia is top scammer, obviously. Opabinia 3 games in this position. So bishop, I guess bishop, I guess knight f6 is the incorrect move. With knight. Doorknob is actually Shandok.
check,
E takes. What a scam. So compared to this
check,
position,
check,
here white just have queen a5. If you play with the bishop, right, like
check,
here, then it's not actually clear what to do. Maybe just resign, I suppose. Ancient said that no mistakes. One mistake actually. What is the mistake? Okay, d5 is the mistake. Yeah, d5 is not really a mistake.
check, check,
So yeah, here it's just some nonsense. This is actually a nice defense against this. You just need to know this move. And white, what can white do? What is this move? c6 takes b4. What is this? What is this spam? Maybe it's not super good defense. So basically the threat is this move. Or this capture. c6 looks pretty forced.
check,
And this check. Actually,
check,
I would not like to play this position but as black, but on the other hand white has own issues because this queen may get attacked very soon. What if bishop f5? Okay, then just even worse. Why bishop f5 is much worse? It's not actually clear.
check,
Oh, because yeah,
check,
because of this stuff. So you wasted the tempo for bishop f5. Now knight can jump here without losing the tempo, and also this bishop is not defending this square. So bishop f6 is the better move.
check,
f4, knight c5. Also, white sacrifice a queen. to attack. Nice.
Check.
Yeah, this is not trivial at all. Looks like a good defense for black. Looks pretty good defense for black. But if white engine trumpetes that, maybe it won't be as good. So bishop b, knight b5 looks like a mistake. To me, at least. It's very weird that engine gives such high evals, but this is not a strong engine. This position looks pretty playable for black. Okay.
Check.
So b4. With b4, also you have this. I want to say that this is a good position for white. Like seeing this position, queen c1, and saying that this is a good position for white, +2. This is complete insanity. Complete nonsense. I'm not playing this position for white. Don't even want to analyze. Just engine nonsense.
Check.
Yes, but this is just losing, right? This position is even worse because it is not just unclear.
Check.
It's actually clear that white has issues. Even here it says almost equal evaluation, but simply by material white should be worse, and by position it is not clear how to attack this king. Basically the whole game is a demonstration of how it can go. I would definitely prefer to play these positions as black. So this kind of refutation of this whole idea. I mean, it's probably not a refutation, because if white engine trumpetes this stuff enough, this stuff, so white plays all these moves, and then they also memorize 100 moves more of theory, and it turns out that they are completely winning this position. Quite typical for atomic. So this is like a good defense to play maybe in some matches.
Check.
But it's probably not super good as a forever defense. In such complicated positions, engine prep gives much advantage. Okay, here I suggested to play bishop b5. Stockfishbot also did that. On queen f6. Right, I saw that move. Seems completely logical. But is this position really good for black? Just takes. I'm not convinced by e5. The difference between e5 and e6. Let's see. So if play this stuff, then queen g4 just win. If the pawn would be on e6, there are no such ideas. Actually, it says that queen h5 is even better move. sure at all. But okay, queen h3 is played and
check,
the game is more or less won for black. That's move. So yeah, white tried to scam a bit.
check, check,
It felt that this... I just missed that black has this idea that it should be completely winning for black, right? Yes. So the game was probably just queen f3 move, and that game was probably just blunder that lost the game. Okay, Russian attack game. So, based on how the game continued, I feel that allowing before was a mistake. Just before. Before looks like a fine move. Now chrisrapid played this game
check,
really well.
check,
G3 also. G3. I was looking where this knight can go and wanted to say that knight can't go anywhere, and here Vlad plays G3. Okay, it can go here, but it took more time to actually threaten something than F3.
check,
Maybe this position was fine for white yet. I don't see why it is so weak. Queen goes, I guess queen goes just this way. C3 and H4. Yeah, strong ideas. Looks like, just based on my experience, to allow in b4 is often a positional mistake. It's probably not always a mistake when white have something immediate to reply, but in general, this pawn on b4 is very unpleasant in such positions. So for example, if here black plays b4, then maybe white can compensate by playing something, I don't know, maybe f5, g4, and have a bit more space on the queen side, but this takes. Yeah, for example, here you are allowed this square for the bishop. It is probably not super good. He takes d4. What if g4, for example? Knight a6. What if I play g5? The engine suggests some really weird moves. I don't understand what this does. But b4 is an interesting idea. So maybe it's just in human games, this move may be completely fine actually. Understand it, but if opponent doesn't know that this, yeah, probably it really isn't a good move because of this. The bishop just comes in. What is the difference in the game? Before, what if just take? Actually, this might be a good thing. Can't play this.
check,
So, what is the difference? I still don't understand well. Wait. So takes, queen e7. What is the big difference? Rook h3. So if the pawn is not on g4, on g5 it can't play this fast. This is nonsense. This is such nonsense. Very hard to play this position as well. very hard. So I don't feel like before is a particularly mistake. Should have proved quite a
Check.
good positional idea. Okay, first game. E5.
Check. Check. Check.
Chrisrapid played quite some games in this position.
Check.
So he thinks that this position is good. It ended in a draw. In this particular case. The white just castles here. This is a good move. So engine thinks it's quite good stuff. So yes, white gave up a pawn, but I mean, this king is misplaced. It's very hard to develop this rook, and white can actually develop this rook. I'm not sure how to develop this rook. For example, this is also problematic because knight can take this pawn. And if you push this pawn, then the knight can invade. Maybe it's not quite clear how to develop this bishop. I think just b3, bishop e4. And then it might not be clear how to neutralize this knight. If it just stands or it tries to invade. But in the worst case, probably white can just try to open the center and attack with the rooks.
Check.
It is an interesting position. Very
Check.
hard to say how good they are for each side without good engine. But I don't like
Check.
this as black. Just as a personal preference, I would not play this as black. Here black managed to make a draw. Such a king, such a bishop. Just doesn't feel right. Okay, I guess that's all. Was quite a good match. I will play versus Zemendala next match. Then hopefully I will win and play against Pesh Pesh. It should be very interesting if I actually prepare well and not blunder simple things. So, not giving up, continue playing AWC and looking some good games of strong players. Goodbye.